business.
Hello, world.
Hello.
Welcome to ATX Funny and the ATX Comedy Report podcast. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. So, this is our week in review from Halloween week now. We had a interesting Halloween week at the Creek in the Cave in Kill Tony. But what kind of experiences did you have? You came dressed up
Yeah.
Sunday night.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So on Sunday after, excuse me, after the Madrone Coffee Company mic, where I play piano and do accompaniment for all the comedians. It's a lot of fun. After that, the lady who hosts it, Wendy, she invited me to a Halloween party at her place. And there were like some of her friends, some of her family, some other comics invited. And we were having a good time there. And one of the things that we got up to is we went into Wendy's study where she has a bunch of wigs, and just without really talking about her, say we all just started putting wigs on. And
wow!
Yeah, and I tried on this long sort of reddish brown wig.
So this is her personal collection, though.
Yeah. This is from.
These aren't Halloween wigs. These are
these are. I mean, they're probably quite expensive, like high quality wigs, right? Yeah. And so, but I put it on, and I was like, I think I might the look of this, and everyone's like, oh, that looks so good on you, and I'm like, this is fun, and so
So just kept it.
I'm gonna give it back to her on Thursday when she comes to my Gordo's mic.
Right, but I mean, you kept it for the night though.
Right.
Because you're already dressed kind of Napoleon Dynamite-ish, right?
Yeah.
So your current hair was already Napoleon Dynamite,
right?
But then you went for the red wig, so I thought you were going Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh, yeah, or some kind of rock fusion crossover. Well, I have a friend who's into hair metal bands, and I sent a picture of that to her. She's like, "Oh, you look hot." I'm like,
"Oh, there we go now."
Yeah, but that was a lot of fun, and I liked the way it looked, and I was like, well, of course, this is going to be a talking point at Banana Phone, so yeah. Candace was kind enough to let me up at the end of the mic, and we just had a good time talking shit for about 6 minutes.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, I appeared as Michael Myers.
Yeah,
for that.
The Shrek one or the Fahrenheit 9/11 one? I don't know.
That's funny.
Yeah,
the one behind you.
Oh.
That one.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So you were in that mask. Okay, because I saw a story that, like, you were sitting over there, someone's like, this guy's freaking me out. Or it's like...
Yeah.
Okay, so Michael Myers, from what movie? Educate me.
From Halloween.
Halloween, gotcha. Okay.
Oh, my goodness. Derek, we can't be friends anymore. Yeah, we can't be friends no more.
I haven't seen any of the Halloween movies.
Oh,
I grew up under a rock. We've discussed this.
Yeah, but you don't live under one now.
Well, that's true. But, there's only so much culture that you can catch up on in time.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that the Halloween movies were a thing until until 10 months ago at the grocery store, or a year ago at the grocery store. I was buying something, and one of the guys who was checking me out of the grocery store mentioned the Halloween movies. I'm like, what are those?
Oh my gosh! Well, start with Halloween 3. It's the best.
Okay, Halloween.
No, it's not. I'm just kidding.
Okay, gotcha.
That's for all the Halloween fans out there. Halloween 3 actually doesn't even have Michael Myers in it. But it's funny, when you said, did you go watch Shrek? I was like, what the fuck?
Mike Myers.
That's so awesome. Nope, I didn't go watch Shrek. But that's
yeah, you are a big green guy right now.
Yeah. No, but I was... So... You saw a story where I was sitting in the audience?
Yeah.
So that was for Hans's...
the dating show?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the wrong costume to have.
Yeah, so I planned a whole bit out. I had all these dating questions written out on cards, but from like Michael Myers' point of view. And did
you wind up getting selected?
I did not. So I talked to Hans beforehand, and I was like, "Hey, I got this whole bit set up." He goes, "We talked about." He's like, "Oh, that'd be fun. There's not very many people in the bucket. I'm sure you'll get selected. Don't worry about it." 'Cause I was gonna put my name on a $5 bill, so you know it's me.
Right.
Because don't worry about it, save your money. You'll definitely get selected.
Okay,
cool. So I put it in there. I sat in that fucking costume all day. Did not get pulled the whole time, and so I was like, "All right." But so I put it up. And hung out all day, just regular clothes, and then went to Banana Phone, regular clothes. And right before Michael Myers was supposed to go up, I went and changed in the bathroom. I came out, so nobody knew it was me.
Oh, okay, so you had it all planned out.
So I still have those cue cards in my pocket, and I use those for the banana phone. I gave him to like Candace as like
inspiration.
Well, it was like a joke, like it was like kind of like dating still because the dating thing.
So she was asking you these sort of like dating kind of interview questions, as your date.
But it still worked a little bit. And man, Trey though, if you watch the video, he's just like he's scared. Like as soon as I walked out, Trey Pack's the biggest guy in there.
Yeah, but he's a softie.
Yeah, he's like, man, this ain't funny. Stop playing around. Who is this? So that was cool.
That's good.
But last night at Kill Tony, I hung out at the after party. Got a couple tacos or whatever, but ended up in the same spot as David Lucas and Tony. Got to take pictures with Tim Dillon. And, it was a cool little night.
That's a great picture.
But I actually got to see Tony go play drums with the band last night. And David Lucas was singing songs with them.
Hell, yeah, and I saw Maddie, the lady from Latchkey.
She was singing with
there
them
were a lot
too.
of people swapping in and out of the band. And then Bobby's friend Ricky was playing guitar for a while. He was crushing it.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool. It was like a nice little jam session with comics and good talent out there.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah.
So that was cool. That was the first after party that I think they actually hung out at too.
I mean, I guess Tony doesn't always stick around the whole time. But
he likes to disappear to other ones, it seems like. But it was a cool one. But the rest of the week, we had Lucky Duck was a good mic. Your mic was an interesting one. We moved it outside.
From the hotel one.
The hotel one, yeah. We went from inside to outside. That made it a little bit different. But as I was leaving, you could really hear us on the street out there. And so, like, the jokes were like, I heard people, like, chuckling and stuff, like, walking by. So it's a little, we may not see the people laughing.
Right.
But out there.
So maybe that's one of the ways I need to introduce the mic if it's outside. And I was like, you guys might not think you have a huge audience right now.
You got all of 6th Street right now. Yeah.
Everybody in a whole block can hear you. Yeah. And so, so be performing for the world right now.
Exactly. Always be performing for the world because you never know who has their phone out.
Yeah, right? Yeah, some friends at the Kill Tony after party, they took a video of me dancing, which was fun, but I didn't ask them to do that. I kind of like when they were videoing me, I was like, I'd much rather you guys dance with me, but thanks for appreciating.
So you're just by yourself dancing?
Yeah. But the thing, like, cause I sort of started dancing a little bit earlier. But then I thought it's like, I feel kind of awkward, even if no one's looking at me, being the only person doing this. And so then I went back and sat back down with them. It's like, okay, I don't know if you guys want to dance, but I really want to dance, but I at least need the support of some people, to go do it. And I did, and I let loose, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
That's cool. Who were you hanging out with?
That was I was hanging out with Scott Whitcop.
That's the guy we play pool with?
And Chelsea Montgomery also, who was at the pool playing session, and who got picked last in the bucket at Kill Tony tonight, and good for her. She had a great interview. She was very likable to the crowd. And then a guy named was Ben. He's a friend of Scott's, just moved to town.
A Ben.
Or he's visiting. Well, I didn't ever get his last name in the last couple of days. I've just known him for a day and a half.
That's cool. So, but yeah, you guys hung out, had a good time, and that's cool.
Yeah. So,
that was a cool Kill Tony. Did they sign up for the bucket also, all of them? Did
Yeah. So one in our sort of cadre of 4, because we were hanging out before the show and everything.
That's
so
not bad. 25% of you guys got
right.
on?
Yeah, exactly. So you just need to find the right 4 to hang out with.
Yeah, that's what it is. So they can get on, huh? Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So you can be part of a statistic more.
Yeah. It was a little. I mean, of course, like you just can never expect to get called. It was a little frustrating to go again and not get called, but it was also a very entertaining show.
It was fun. Matt Alvarez was standing right in front of us, right next to us there in the little bullpen. And, he got called up.
I really admire how many risks he took, and and I think he was saying after he didn't feel good because he didn't do that great, but I admired the way that he committed to the risks that he took.
He's a great comic.
Yeah,
and that was his first time on Kill Tony, so I understand.
I thought he'd been on once.
That was his first time.
Yeah.
So I can understand.
But it's
his
a weird
animosity.
week to get caught out on it, and he had the clown makeup on and everything.
So he committed to it. I asked him before the show. I said, "Are you gonna commit to this character?" for the show. He said, yeah.
Yeah,
so
was he doing the character for you, or
no,
just like, are you going to commit to?
Well, I saw it the night before with Creek in the Cave.
Oh yeah,
he did really good with it.
Yeah. And I think maybe the reason why he did really good with it is like it's all people he knows, right?
Right.
And so everyone is really appreciating what he's doing. Whereas like if you bring it into like and the Kill Tony crowd is not a Gen Pop crowd. It's a very specific kind of crowd, and like a lot of shit flies there.
Yeah.
But it is, but it's like that's just a different collection of people.
And also, I think what was happening, he had 3.5 minutes at the Creek, and he was running through the best 3.5 minutes while he was on stage and trying to pull pieces of that out and use it.
But was it that the 3.5 minutes he had more time to build people's acceptance of the thing?
Right.
Okay, so was it like maybe weird at first, but then people got with it and they were like, all right, come on.
Because he came out real strong. We talked about these kids and stuff, and I thought it worked really well.
Kid stuff does great at the Creek.
Yeah.
We don't know why. We don't ask questions.
Yeah, but so he said he's gonna do the character. I said, well, what if they it works out and this could be your character for life? He's like, oh, I love that's perfect. I'm gonna get a movie deal and we're gonna do all this stuff.
There you go.
Then he goes up there. He's like, fuck that movie.
Yeah, but do you think that also maybe like what he was doing at the Creek had like some kind of more continuity to it, and maybe he was chopping up the so he's just trying to take the greatest hits,
right?
But there's also this filler that
that built it
into
it.
Yeah.
So that's what I think. What the problem was, it was just going to the punchlines.
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, whereas like being that character, he has time to like spin a tale. Yeah.
So yeah, I think that was the deal. But at least he's not stuck as a clown for the rest of his life. He can go up as Matt next time.
Even if he killed as the clown, it's like, do you always just want to be the clown?
He said he would do it. He was going to commit to the character forever.
But if he killed at Kill Tony, I would have to say you need at least $100,000 in your pocket before you can commit to being a character forever.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Well, like Tony Pepperoni,
yeah.
Does he? I wonder. Has he been on Kill Tony? Do you know?
I do not think so.
I wonder if his character, if he stays in character the whole time doing his interview.
Oh yeah, that would be a good question. You know, and the thing is, but it all depends, I think, on how delighted and amused the table of Tony and his friends are by the character. Because if they are, then you keep doing it. But if they acknowledge it, like, oh, you killed in the room, but we want to talk to you, is like to keep on talking as the character.
Yeah, because that's what he did say last night. He's like, am I talking to Matt or am I talking to the clown? And he's like, okay, you're talking to Matt. Okay, we'll have an interview. But if I'm talking to the clown, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
I've seen him do that with like the Charles Schwab Jr. or whatever. That guy came in as a character and he shut him down like immediately. It was like a 2-second interview. He's like, okay, we're done.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So
he's like, the character has to be sufficiently good to hold a conversation.
You have to be sane enough to separate the character from the person, I think. If you stay in character the whole time, he's like, I don't want to fucking deal with this person. You gotta be able to have a conversation too, I think. But yeah, man. So what's coming up this week?
Well, later on today at 3:00, I'm gonna have a meeting with the mystery venue people from last week. Yeah, and we're going to get something set up possibly as soon as this Sunday at 7 p.m.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Cool. So that's gonna be a Sunday mic, huh?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm still not sure if it's going to be a mic or if it's going to be a show. I think the meeting today will determine.
Okay.
Determine and clarify my thinking on that. What they want out of it. So yeah. So I don't know about, but it's going to be Sunday at 7.
Okay. Well, that's cool, man. Yeah. So Sundays at 7.
Mm-hmm.
So there is some stuff happening already. So you're competing with a few mics at that time, right?
Yeah. I mean, there would be the Sanjak Saloon, and then sometime, and not many people go to this, even though it's really one I adore, and I haven't been for at least a month and a half or so. Spoken and Heard at Kick Butt Coffee often.
Yeah, I've never been to that one, but yeah.
Yeah,
I hear good things.
Yeah, and it's also like one of those crowds which is individual in the way that like the Creek comics crowd and the Keltoni crowd are individual, in that in a large part because there's just like a lot of people who are just hardcore regulars at that thing.
Yeah.
They've been going for years, and so like getting like so you realize like, oh, this is also just like a hang for particular people.
Okay.
And like and you just like combine your knowledge and and the vibes and like all our collective memory of like all these, because all these different people at the mic are in a sense like they're characters. But just like just by being themselves, but then also in the fact is like, oh, you see them for these 3 hours on a Sunday night, and they're always this way, and they each have their distinctive flavor. I probably went on about that for a little bit longer than was necessary, but
I get it. So finding those they're not a single crowd. It's like there's Bob over here, he's laughing with them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Tom Moon, the poet, the Australian poet guy who's in his 60s and dresses up in like all kinds of wild and wacky colors and is just the most joyful person you'll ever meet.
Okay.
Yeah, and then and the hosts are like very strong characters themselves. And there's an older lady, I'm trying to remember her name, but she always has her hair red. Yeah.
That's cool. So your Mike, you're thinking maybe a show, start actually having a showcase with the actual comics come up. You're talking about?
Yeah. So it could be a showcase, or it could be an open mic, or it could be like a showcase and then an open mic.
All right, well, it could be anything, huh?
Right, and something that they want to do, and this intrigues me, if it could be done at that venue, is to do roast battles.
Oh,
and so
cool.
Yeah, and you could either do that informally, or ask Adam Lucky, like, hey, what are the requirements for us having a roast battle here? And can I, and do you trust me to like ask people as judges, or to be host myself, or maybe I could bring in a host. Yeah. So there's some potential for that. Maybe doing that once a month. And doing like the normal routine.
That's cool, man.
3 weeks. Yeah.
And then tonight you also have Lazy Days.
Yeah, tonight I'm very excited for that one. I always love the vibe there.
I've been hearing good things, man. A lot of people are going there now. And,
the word's getting passed around. I'm getting people dropping in later on, and things are still going strong. And because they're dropping in later on because they heard, and yeah.
Yeah. That's cool, man. It's an interesting little venue there. It's tight, but it's homey, I guess, would be a good...
very much so.
Yeah.
I feel really lucky to have gotten involved with the people who manage and hang out at the place there, because they have this kind of atmosphere of being chill, but then also anything goes, which just really invites comedy.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
It's an environment that's really good for that.
And then you have tomorrow. You have the West or East Austin.
East
Hotel.
Austin Hotel, and the crowds at that one have generally been rather poor lately.
But once again, we have that whole street down there, and
right.
And I wonder if if there's some way to keep the comics there.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, what kind of incentive could be offered? One thing that I discussed with the lady who manages their Destiny is the possibility of purchasing some Instagram advertising throughout the week to get, at least $5 of advertising a day. That could bring a crowd of 5-10 people.
Yeah.
And so then the hotel would recuperate that in sales, and then it would just be way better.
Yeah, I agree, man. Yeah. Definitely getting the word out. That's the hardest thing about any of this stuff is letting people know, that we're here, we're doing this. Come see it, support live comedy.
Yeah.
That's the thing is, without people supporting it, if a tree falls in the forest,
that's for sure the
you
truth.
don't clap or laugh. Does anybody actually fucking do it? Yeah.
and of the 3 mics that I run, in terms of total environment, although there've been a lot of weeks at that Wednesday one where the environment's good, just because the comics kind of keep the same spirit that they have at Lazy Days. But when there are fewer people, and then also when it's outside, the energy is a little more diffuse, so it requires more people in order to make it feel really live there.
Right. Yeah.
So in light of those things, like there have been some really good mics there, but that's the one that I think is like that has that needs the most help in terms of getting people there.
Okay.
And so that the solution I thought would be good would be the advertising.
Yeah, definitely. Getting people out there. What about like little posters like on the down by the street level?
Yeah, that could be good. In the lobby of the
for the hotel people.
hotel.
Yeah.
But then also possibly outside. Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't even thinking about the actual hotel guests. I was just thinking about people walking by. But yeah, they have a whole the whole hotel full of guests. Yeah.
Yeah, but then also there's like certain sort of like subset of people who are locals who like to visit that place as a bar.
Right. Yeah.
So that
it's interesting. There's so many bar choices, and everybody has their own particular places they like to hang. But you see the same people at each one.
Right. And I think that's like that's kind of nice because like some place actually, if you tried every place, the place that you wound up landing before you tried every place might not actually be your favorite of the places, but it's something that like puts you in this kind of like consistent relationship across time.
They know your name, they know your drink.
With a place, where you're socializing, oftentimes with the same people, but then with new people.
Yeah.
And so it becomes and there's something cool about that commitment, even if like you just hate the decorating. The people keep you coming back. Yeah.
So we played pool this week for the first time.
Yes.
Are you a pretty avid pool player?
I like to play pool. I would not say that I'm really an excellent pool player on the scale of, but I like to play pool, and I'm lucky enough to live in a place that has a pool table. So I usually try and shoot one frame every day.
You got a pool table in your house?
Uh-huh.
That's cool, man. Yeah. We used to have one in our game room when we had it, but I used to be on the pool
it's in
league.
the hostel common
okay.
room. That's where I live.
You're living in a hostel, bro.
Yeah.
Is it you sharing a room?
I do have one roommate, but it's also not like a night to night kind of hostel. It's a month to month sort of situation.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Is the rent's affordable though, and helping you?
I'd say it's good. Like right now, I'm paying $730, and then if I get to move into a small private room, it'd be $970, which is like, of course, expensive to have a very small room.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's like a kind of support system, social network. Like.
Are there comics in there? Are there other comics in there?
Not currently. Ridge Hirschberger and Christina Mariani. Excuse me. They lived there for quite some time, and another guy. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I was, in LA, there was like all the comics that were coming in to visit Kill Tony all lived in the same pods or whatever. That was. So
like pods like converted into living spaces.
Yeah. But,
like in a stockyard. I'm picturing some kind of
it was a house,
yard.
But they had little bed pods. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've seen a couple of hostels in Edinburgh that have that system.
Yeah. So I just thought it was something like that, where it's like a bunch of comics all like all know each other, but that'd be cool. But
you just roll yourself into a closet to go to sleep.
But having a decent rent pay is not. It keeps the riffraff out, but doesn't like break you.
That's true.
That's the good thing about it.
But at the same time, there are a lot of benefits to living there, so I'm happy to be there. Even though I could probably find something where I maybe have a little bit of more space to myself for a cheaper rate. I find myself happy there. I mean, so like of course like it's a converted retirement home, so the decorating is not great, but what keeps me coming back is the people.
Well, that's cool, man. Well, good deal, brother. Anything you want to cover before we wrap it up?
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see. We talked about the thing that's going to be Sundays at 7.
Uh-huh.
I want to ask you about your experiences. Anything especially fun or weird happen recently?
This week I did not have too much weird, but I did have a lot of fun. The Creek of the Cave coming up as Mike Myers was awesome because I did not. Nobody knew it. Nobody was.
Bet you got a strong reaction.
It was a great reaction. They tried heck.
And I assume the characters. The comics knew that character.
Yeah, you were the only one that didn't.
Yeah,
apparently.
no. I believe it. I believe it 100%.
Yeah, that's funny. So yeah, that's Yeah, and that still baffles me. So that's the weird thing that happened this week is Derek doesn't know what Halloween is.
Gotcha. Yeah, but it sounds like you were really enjoying. You got one over on him.
I did,
You
man.
totally fooled it. Then no one knew it was Chad.
Nobody did. As I'm walking off, they guessed it was Bilal, and
Oh, he would dress in something like that. He fucking would.
yeah. So I told him I went as him for Halloween.
I dressed as you, Bilal. Yeah. Guess what I did to my face?
Yeah.
Put a Mike Myers mask on.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I went even whiter face. Yeah. So yeah, that was a good time. But I was trying to think if anything happened on 6th Street that was interesting this time. You know, it's so funny is that every time I go to Kill Tony though, I'm standing in line. And I always get people coming up and talking to me. I mean, the comics, whatever. But it's always that person from out of town just got there. I'm like, I guess I'm the face of I know what's going on or something because everybody asks me what's up. Everybody blah blah. This guy from Canada came in this last time, and he was here for the music festival this over the weekend. And he was talking about how much he loves Austin and how you just meet all the musicians. They're just hanging out. And how nice it is.
Yeah.
Where in Canada, everybody's separate. They have like this hierarchy thing. Like when you go do a show, the people on the show disappear right away. You don't get to see them. You don't get to hang out with them. They're just gone. So he was saying that
it's much more cliquish.
But in Austin, everybody's there. You can hang out with them. You can talk with them. That's kind of what I noticed too. Is that people just walk out on the street. There's somebody famous sometimes. You know, and it's just they're just hanging out. Yeah, people are really open to where life might take them by chance. Yeah. And that's really cool. I do dig that. I do dig the scene. I did. So something weird that happened. Kyle Trek. I let him sleep on the couch this last week because he crashed his car. So he ended up losing everything for his time here in Austin. Yeah. So we talked about being stable and having being a comic and how tough it is to balance the two. Yeah. He was doing a lot of mics and he was funny, but then now he has
right. Yeah. Did you have to go back home?
He had to go back Ohio, home. Yeah. His parents flew him back home and.
Gotcha.
But me and Brian, my buddy Brian Swinehart, came down. I called him on the phone. He's from Ohio also. He talked about what kind of mic, what he should do for the next step, and gave him some really good pointers, and that was nice. But
that's good.
Yeah.
But, well, sorry to hear it, Kyle.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's one of the toughest things. You have to keep
following your dreams.
Yeah, you come out and give it all, and then it all gets taken away. And it can happen in an instant. Like that. So definitely be grateful for the hostel, even if and
it's really good of you to be supporting somebody in the way that you can. Like, hey, let me make things a little easier for you.
Well, I've just been there. I've slept on people's couches, and I know how it is. It's tough out there, and especially when I was 27 and trying to make it in LA, I was in the same situation that he found himself in. So. It's definitely a.
I've been on couches before too. Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah. It's pretty messed up when the only thing you had going for you gets taken away. But having a reset.
But he'll find another way to do
definitely
stand-up comedy. If he really wants to keep doing it.
Well, that's what we talked about. Is like setting up a show, meeting. So he's a theater guy from back in Ohio.
Okay,
so he actually
he's
has
into
some theater
theater
connections.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if he.
So he really. So he was really like going out on a limb with trying a new art form which was related to what he
was he was doing theater before he started doing comedy, and then he started doing comedy and then came out here. But now he has those theater connections, and he's gonna try to get set up doing some shows in those theaters, selling tickets to those type of things. So instead of having like a bar venue or whatever.
That's cool.
Yeah. There's a lot of open theaters there. That aren't being used all the time.
I had no idea about his. So to do comedy at those theaters.
Yeah, right.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
So put on an actual comedy show, but sell it out like a Louis C.K. type event.
Right. That's a great idea. Like if the places get dusted off and swept out, and like
yeah. So you might have to pay a sound guy or something, but other than that, you just the PA system's already there. It's the lights are already on. Might as well.
Yeah, that's cool. All right. Yeah, I had no idea that Kyle was a theater guy.
Yeah. So
yeah. Should ask him more.
He's very theatrical. He is.
Well, no, well, that's making a lot of sense as you're talking about that and recalling his performance. Like, I realized, like, Oh, like a lot of the times when, like, when he say, like, take a big pause or something, with his hands behind his back, it's like, oh, that seems like a theater thing.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, he knew his shit. It's just bad time, tough time out here.
Interesting. Yeah, because like sometimes I felt like, because I was trying to gauge as I kept seeing him, because I saw him all the time, like whether he was like improving, or staying the same. Because like sometimes he get like quite a big response, and then other times it'd be nothing, like and then other times it'd be like he got some response, but then like maybe. Like made people feel weird at one point. It's like, oh, so maybe like being in theater is like you sort of have an idea. It's like, oh, I'm gonna project this idea onto the people, rather than like realizing, in comedy it's more of a conversation.
Yeah. It's a performance more for him.
Yeah, I know. Because he does, like, looking back on it, it's like, oh yeah, he actually held himself with a great deal of poise.
Yeah.
Huh. This is making a lot of sense.
Well, get to know somebody after they leave, Yeah.
Yeah.
But hopefully he'll be back and be stronger. That's a good thing.
Yeah,
or we'll
for
be
sure. I
doing
wish
his
him
shows.
well.
Yeah. In Ohio.
Yeah, something that was fun for me this week is I think that wearing that wig was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah.
See, now you know how your sisters feel, man.
Yeah, that's cute. But like, I felt like free, right? Because I'm no different from who I am. But then suddenly, it got me thinking. It's like, maybe I could get some wigs to incorporate into, because then you can make all kinds of characters with them.
Yeah.
And like, and it was like reasonably convincing.
So now you're gonna have a wig room?
I don't know, maybe. Yeah. I'll just have some like some of those like styrofoam heads with the wigs on them in my closet.
As long as styrofoam,
like,
not real.
But especially if like they look like real, like a real human head of hair. So, like bring a lady over. It's like, why do you have wigs in your closet? It's like,
this is a wig too.
Yeah. Yeah, right. And then I'm just all skin.
Yeah. I actually have alopecia.
Yeah.
This is all fake.
Yeah, right. That'd be too shocking. You gotta baby step someone into that.
Wipe off your whole eyebrows and everything.
Now you see me, now you don't. Now you see me.
Oh, that's cool, man. So, a wig room, what would be your first wig? You go blonde or?
Oh, I don't know what it would be, but it would probably be... I haven't even considered the whole range of wigs that are available to you, because you can also have like all kinds of like neon colored and like the like turquoise bob cuts or whatever they have. But I'd probably go with like really long hair.
Really long hair?
Yeah.
Now, have you ever tried straightening your hair?
I've never tried straightening it. No.
Have you ever grown it out further?
I have grown it out sigdignificantly further.
Does it get long and curly or just more froey?
It becomes an enormous Jew fro.
Oh,
it's
really?
actually really glorious.
Nice. So it gets taller, huh?
Yeah, it's the kind of thing that creative people love. Yeah,
that's cool.
It's a Bob Ross.
So why cover it up, man?
Oh, you mean like why keep it short?
Well, no, why get wigs? If,
no. Yeah, but the idea is like not to like wear wigs in daily life, but be able to like bring them out for moments or special occasions, or like doing a character, or like just like for a particular night out, just like look fucking a little bit different.
You're gonna be wearing every day.
Yeah, I gotta have a different wig for every day of the week. Yeah.
That's funny, man.
Yeah, but it was just like really fun and freeing. Like, you know how Eddie Izzard feels like a man and a woman, and that's not how I feel. but Eddie Izzard is an awesome example of somebody who just like very frankly and honestly and genuinely like expresses how they feel in the world in a way that's inoffensive to everybody. Or at least anyone who's not worth offending. So like it was just fun because it's this other thing that you can change. Like I've been like playing around with the way that I dress, playing around with my facial hair. It's like I just feel free to express myself, and that's very liberating.
That's cool, man. Good deal. I like it. Maybe we all should wear a wig every once in a while.
I did look hot in that wig, right?
I'm not gonna comment on that.
I don't want to ambush your reputation. Like you could just said, "Yeah, Derek, you looked really hot in the wig."
I
and now to close this out,
but you said it for us.
No, yeah, you're too scared. You're too scared.
I'm not scared. I'm just honest, and I'm not gonna hurt your feelings. No, I'm kidding.
No, that's fine. Well, I mean, they definitely look goofy, but I kind of like this sort of like
it's fun.
bass guitarist in a British grunge band vibe.
Yeah, I dig it. You had nice bangs.
Yeah, I did sort of look like a metal guitarist or something. Yeah. Like.
Did you feel like a different person?
Huh?
Did you feel like a different person? Did you feel like another personality came out when you did that?
Not as much. It certainly like was something that I realized like, oh, I'm going to have an awareness of the fact that I look like this right now. But I didn't think it like really changed the way I acted. I think at one point like I maybe felt a little bit more awkward, but that was probably just getting high, you know.
Yeah, that's probably just you.
Yeah.
You feel a little bit awkward every night.
But it was, but in totality, it was so much fun. Yeah, but the thing is, I'm not so awkward that I can't spot where I'm being awkward.
Yeah.
And like log and make
makes it worse, doesn't it?
You should have. No. It actually makes it better because then you can identify the source of your awkwardness and then try and build systems into your life and build up better habits so that you don't do those awkward behaviors again.
That's why I just start being alone.
No.
Don't be around anybody.
I ain't doing that again. You're not gonna put me back in there.
No, that's where I go. That's where.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everyone needs their introvert time.
Yeah.
But but I'm certainly not going reclusive because I really like participating in the world and being a part of society, and I want to fucking do it for a long time.
Nice. Everybody take that note to heart and be part of the society as well.
Yeah.
Participate in the world. I like it, Derek. Well, thanks for coming out again, brother. I think it was fun. I think we covered some good stuff. We got some good shows coming up, and we're going to hear about Sunday, 7 o'clock next Tuesday, I guess. We'll find out where it's at.
Yeah. We'll have the full details for you.
All right, brother.
And so, I really appreciate you, Chad. Thanks for setting everything up. Thanks for having me out.
Thanks for doing it, brother.
All right.
Talk to you soon.